Hi everyone. One of the questions that we get asked a lot is about end of life care and when it's time to say goodbye. When is it time to talk about euthanasia? Well, talking about euthanasia, there is really no time too early for that, because being prepared and having a plan and knowing what it might entail is really going to help make it a not traumatic experience, something that doesn't come on suddenly. So quality of life is something that gets thrown around a lot. How are you actually able to measure quality of life in pets? It can be very obvious physical things like eating and toileting, being able to go for walks, but there are also psychological things, being able to socialize, being able to come and be affectionate, and even cognitively understanding the world. Some pets can get quite senile and they may not have a lot wrong with them physically, but mentally they might change quite a lot. What's important to consider is factors like emotional. How are you and your family coping? How is the animal coping emotionally with changes that come with age and potential illness? Time is a huge investment. We're all really busy people and we'll feel guilty, but the truth is illness and senior pets, those things do take time and a lot of commitment to handle and manage. There are physical restraints. If you have a really large dog, it can be really difficult helping them to get around when they become arthritic, for instance. And financial is also going to be an issue, often at end of life, whether that happens suddenly when an emergency surgery might be required, or slowly with progressive illness. It will take medical treatments and medications and rechecks at the vets, and that can be a huge burden on people and families as well. There is usually no regret associated with an earlier euthanasia rather than what would be perceived as a euthanasia that came too late after suffering and pain already started. Consider that animals don't think about the future like we do. They don't have a concept of time in terms of how many weeks, months or years they may have left to live. It really is all about how they feel in the moment. And speaking of the moment, to enjoy the moment and create happy memories, think of bucket list items that you might have for you and your pet. Are there any activities you've always wanted to do with your pet? Are there any places you want them to experience? Try and cross off as many bucket list items as you can. The more happy memories you have and the more you know that you have maximized the time spent together, the easier it might become to then deal with the loss after. And we're here to talk about the after care for you as well, after you've lost your pet. There are so many questions before, during and after losing a pet, and it's just really important that everybody knows we're here to discuss and make plans and make the process as straightforward as we can. There will be a different angle for everybody. It will be an individual story for everyone, and our job is just to be here and give you the support that you need for that. One of the things that I hear about quite a bit is natural death. And what that might mean for an animal. Unfortunately, natural death, as it happens in people, is quite slow and drawn out process, and is usually it does usually involve suffering and undue pain. So it's in the rarest occasion that an animal might be lucky enough to die in their sleep or die very quickly. It will usually last at least minutes to hours, and it's not easy to then talk an animal through it like you could talk to a person and try and rationalize things and be supportive in that moment when a pet becomes painful and starts dying. So natural death is not something that I would recommend. It really helps that we can euthanize them, which is a quick, anxiety-free, fear-free, pain-free process.